So what's up everybody, this is going to be my Black Clover 351 predictions. I think this chapter is going to drop some knowledge bombs. I think we're going to get an update as to what's going on in the Clover Kingdom. As well, there's a possibility of us actually seeing the Black Bulls, because we know that the Black Bulls, apparently they were searching for Asta, but obviously the chapter is going to focus on Asta. So let's get into my Black Clover 351 predictions. First of all, if you like anime, manga reviews, discussion, spoilers, and theories, definitely hit the subscribe button. If you like the video, so you should win some false copyright strikes. So let's get this channel back to 5,000. Thank you so much for the support. So Black Clover 350 ended Asta facing off the five-headed dragon. We figure out that Asta and Libby's anti-magic is the only way to possibly stop this dragon. It was something that a lot of us predicted. We knew that was going to happen. I assumed it was going to be something like the Hydra. So this chapter, Black Clover 351, is most likely going to focus on that fight, at least the beginning. I think Asta is gonna wipe the floor with this dragon. I wouldn't be surprised if Asta gets gobbled up and then like Asta just cuts himself out, similar to what the ice fox lady did. However, knowing Asta and his sensory of ki and all that stuff, he's probably gonna dodge everything, especially now that he has Master 𝙲𝚘𝚙𝚅. So I would like to see that. Plus, we're gonna see the ice paladin guy, 𝙗𝚗. I think he's gonna definitely fight the strongest Ryu-7. We're probably gonna see what's going on with that, but I tell you, most likely the strongest Ryu-7 is just gonna stall for time. I'm pretty sure the strongest Ryu-7 is actually going to get pushed to his limits because he is fighting a paladin. That paladin can do ice magic and space magic, so that combination where we saw him use ice magic to attack all directions, I think it might overwhelm the strongest Ryu-7. But of course, we're going to see why he's called the strongest Ryu-7, because I did criticize him and some of you guys were saying, oh no, he's the strongest Ryu-7 for a reason. I'm waiting to see that this chapter. I really want to see how he handles 𝙗𝚗. I'm not entirely sure if we saw his magical attribute yet, or his Ryuku. I know he can cut through anything, but I'm not sure if we saw his magic. Correct me in the comments if we did, but it would be very interesting to see his magic like has something to do with the elements, because that's what the other Ryu-7s are. So there's obviously snow, darkness, earth, and then there was wind and electricity. I wonder if he has anything to do with sunlight, if he has anything to do with light. That'd be very interesting. We're probably going to get some of that battle, but the beginning of the chapter is most likely Asta wiping the floor with this dragon. It's just common sense. Asta is going to wipe the floor with this five-headed dragon. I mean, if the Ryu-7 defeated it and it didn't have like the magical attribute of healing itself, the 5 Ryu-7 that fought it at the beginning would have defeated easily. That Banjo guy that's also part of the Ryu-7, it looks like he can heal, so I wonder if he's going to heal the strongest Ryu-7. So maybe the strongest Ryu-7 does get hit and he didn't realize how strong 𝙗𝚗 was, and then he found out that, oh yeah, this guy's the real deal, let me actually start fighting him and taking him seriously. In my opinion, that's probably what's going to happen. The strongest Ryu-7 is going to be over cocky, and then he's going to get humbled a little bit, and then he has to take him serious. Going back to Asta, if Asta defeats the dragon this chapter, does it mean that he will help out the strongest Ryu-7, or will 𝙗𝚗 be forced to retreat? That's the whole thing, because maybe the chapter is going to end up being like majority of just us seeing Asta defeat this dragon, and then the other half or the remaining is seeing the strongest Ryu-7 fight 𝙗𝚗, Asta just defeating the five-headed dragon. I wonder if when Asta arrives, will that force the ice paladin 𝙗𝚗 to go back to where Lucius is, because remember, he has spatial magic, so I'm pretty sure he can cut space and then end up being where Lucius is at. So I wonder if we're going to have Lucius react this chapter. It'll be very interesting to have him realize, oh, Asta's still alive, oh, he's in the land of the rising sun, and then maybe see a counterattack that he might want to do, as well as maybe Yuno finds out where Lucius is at. Maybe Lucius figures out that he has to deal with Yuno first. I would like to see what's going on there, because we haven't seen Yuno in a while, and I know he's gonna pop up randomly in one of these chapters, and it's most likely gonna be near where Lucius is at. I'm telling you, Yuno probably found a way to where he could track where Lucius is at, or have an idea where he's at, and then Lucius confronts him and fights him. I know I said that there's a possibility of Yuno turning into a paladin, and I think that's very possible. However, like we said in the comments, and like some of y'all said, if he does turn into a paladin, because he has 2 souls, I'm pretty sure he's going to be able to control it, just similar to what he did with the elf art, how he turned into an elf, but then he was able to control it because the elf apparently was not born. Later on, we figure out that Yuno actually has the elf spirit inside his body, which is crazy. And you know, I hope we actually get get plot points to that and that gets more explained. If Yuno turns into a paladin, that will bring more dialogue to that mystery, how Yuno can have two spirits in his body. Because Yuno was born in a distant land, how is he connected to an elf from the Clover Kingdom? Obviously, Yuno was raised in the Clover Kingdom, and people told me that elves are reincarnated, or there's like a theory out there that elves are reincarnated with people that are similar to them in terms of personality and magic type. Maybe that's the case, but if that's the case, that means that there's more elves out there throughout the whole entire continent that the Clover Kingdom, Spade Nation, and the other nations are in. We obviously see that there's another elf village in the Grand Magical Zone, but that means that throughout the whole entire continent, and possibly the Land of the Rising Sun, there's people with two spirits living in them, and one of them is an elf. Like, I really hope that's explained if Yuno turns into a paladin. So I could see this being possibly introduced in this chapter in terms of Lucius confronting Yuno, or Yuno finding out where Lucius is at. Could be this chapter and another couple of chapters from now. I'm really confident that this is going to happen eventually, because we haven't gotten an update to what's going on in the Clover Kingdom. That's probably what's going to happen in the next couple of chapters. I mean, this chapter might just touch on it, but Asta defeating the 𝚤𝚙𝚎𝚑 dragon and maybe causing the Ice Paladin to retreat, or maybe even defeating and turning the Ice Paladin back to normal. I mean, there's so many possibilities with this chapter. I haven't even mentioned the Black Bulls. Like, the Black Bulls were apparently looking for Asta. They knew that Asta was alive. They had that feeling. So maybe there's a connection with them and the power of friendship, like every manga does. I know you guys are not gonna like it, but I wouldn't be surprised if the power of friendship somehow leads the Black Bulls towards Asta's at. But realistically, if 𝚤𝚑𝚅 doesn't go that route, the power of friendship, and I hope he doesn't, there's a possibility that Yami might find out somehow, some way that Asta's in the Land of the Rising Sun. Maybe he can sense it. Maybe he has somebody in his homeland telling him what's going on in the Land of the Rising Sun. Maybe he gets an update. There's so much possibilities. I think Yami might still have some type of contact in the Land of the Rising Sun. It could be Ryu, because now that we know for a fact Yami actually didn't run away because he actually killed his clan, it was because basically he didn't want Ichigo to find out that she was the one that actually slaughtered everybody. So I wouldn't be surprised if Yami appears this chapter and he's actually the person to relay the message and relay the news that Asta is still alive in the Land of the Rising Sun, and then maybe he can tell the other members of the Black Bulls, also the people of the Clover Kingdom. But knowing 𝚤𝚅, I don't think he will take that route, because he'll probably keep the people in the Clover Kingdom oblivious to Asta's whereabouts and Asta's health. They probably still will think he's dead until the final day when they're actually fighting against Lucius. That's just my opinion. And also, maybe Yuno might not actually appear until Judgment Day, which is like 3 days from now, but I'm still confident one of these chapters Yuno will appear where Lucius is at, because remember, Yuno is on a vengeance path. This chapter we waited 2 weeks for. This chapter is most likely going to be a banger. We're most likely going to see something huge in this chapter. Maybe the Ice Paladin actually, or Heath actually dies. There's so many possibilities. However, as all I have to say, thank you so much for watching. Let me know what you think is going to happen in Black Clover 351. Let me know what you think is going to happen with Asta in this chapter. Do you think he's going to wipe the floor of the 𝚤𝚙𝚅 dragon? Do you think that the strongest Ryu 7 is going to have problems with Heath? Do you think that the Ice Paladin might actually decide to run back to Lucius? Do you think Lucius is going to get the information somehow with his telepathic connection to the Paladins in a way? Do you think the Black Bulls might be mentioned? Do you think that there's a communication between the Clover Kingdom continent and the Land of the Rising Sun in terms of trade because of that food product that we saw Asta eat that he enjoyed from the 𝚤𝚅 village? Like if you liked the video, comment, subscribe, and I'm out of here.